You know what, Murray? I'm going to keep it like this, and you're both on there the whole time, so you just have to click it that way. There you go, you're live.
Welcome, everybody. The Portage La Prairie School Division acknowledges that schools in our division are located on Treaty 1 land, as well as the traditional territory of the Ojibwe, Dakota, Cree, and Anishinaabe peoples, and the homeland of the Métis Nation. At this time, I would like everybody to know that with the board here, we have Murray McClanahan, Shauna Lee Leslie, Todd Cuddington, Pam Garnham, and me, Rod Brownlee. And we are here at the board office. Coming in via Google Meets is Louis Luna, Rochelle Rams, Helen Hogarth, Penny Burway, Debbie Satulski, Tracy Asham, Yvette Cuthbert, and Jonathan Hyman. Did I miss anybody? I hope not. Once again, I'm going to take this opportunity to express the school board's thanks to our dedicated staff. Since our last meeting, some students at École Crescent View School have moved to the Myers Norris Penny Building and Stride Place on the island so that we could provide the 2-meter distance for their safety. We've also moved some students from Oakville School to the community center. These moves were no easy feat. The teachers and EAs have done a great job in making these moves. Parents have had to make additional arrangements to get the kids to these venues. I want to give a special thank you to our maintenance staff and caretakers who spent many hours getting the moves done. Thank you to Todd and Pam for making the arrangements to use these venues, and thank you to the community for your understanding. On Saturday, your school board took part in the Manitoba School Board's provincial meeting by Zoom. And today, this morning, again, the board took part in our Regional 2 school board meeting, again virtually. We're not just a Tuesday night board. Again, thank you to all our dedicated staff, teaching kids and keeping them safe. Now, let's go in.
Okay, 11/16/20, the agenda for the meeting of November 24th, 2020 be approved.
Moved by Yvette, seconded by Debbie.
11/17/20, that the minutes of the regular meeting November 10th, 2020 be approved.
Moved by Murray, seconded by Shauna Lee. All in favor? Opposed? Carried.
11/18/20, that the following teacher be employed on limited term teacher general contracts. Christine Davidson, 100% November 16th, 2020 to December 18th, 2020. Abra Love, 100% November 16th, 2020 to June 30th, 2021.
Moved by Shauna Lee, seconded by Louis. Questions?
Schools. Crescent View and Hatarian Colony.
All in favor? Opposed? Carried.
11/19/20, that the following accounts be approved. October 2020 accounts payable, $1,740,560.45, and October 2020 net payroll, $1,774,311.85, for a total of $3,514,872.30.
Moved by Penny, seconded by Murray. All in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Okay, so
Now,
my report is that we have 3 days coming up for families where their children will not be attending school. On Thursday, November 26th in the evening, they wouldn't attend school anyway, but it's parent-teacher evening. And on Friday, the 27th, it's parent-teacher all day. So please make sure that you've had your conference times. If you have not heard from your school, please contact them prior to Thursday so that you can get your parent-teacher evening time. Now, I explained at the last board meeting that you will either be coming in through a Zoom conference if your child's in K to 4 or a call-in. And if your child's in grades 5 to 12, it'll be a Google Meet that you'll be, or a phone call. just another reminder is that the phone calls may show, if the teacher's phoning you, they may show a known number. They may show a number from out of province, just so that you're aware of that. So if someone from Toronto's phoning you, it's probably the teacher phoning you. And that's just the way those sites work. On Monday, November 30th and Tuesday, December 1st are the professional development days that were mandated by Manitoba Education. So on Monday, there's no school for students, and on Tuesday, there's no school for students. What teachers will be doing is they will be doing professional development. So on Monday, they will be doing some school-based professional development in the morning, and in the afternoon, they will have a presenter. Her name is Jenny Donahue, and she will be presenting actually the afternoon to 3,000 teachers and administrators from 12 different divisions. And then on Tuesday will be school-based on Tuesday for the for all of the teachers, and we will be offering some local sessions for teachers on Seesaw and Google Classroom. Michelle, would you like to add in what we're doing for the educational assistants?
Sure. So as well, on Monday and Tuesday, we have some PD set up for our educational assistants. The psychologists in our division have put together quite a selection of topics. And so tomorrow, they'll have an opportunity to see all of the different topics being offered. Some of them are great abundance of different opportunities, from anything from mental wellness to Aboriginal education, addiction, ADHD, autism, behavior, Down syndrome support, FASD, inclusion, mental health and well-being, and LGBTQ. So we're really excited to be able to offer this opportunity to EAs as well on Monday and Tuesday.
And our bus drivers will also be participating in a PD, and that'll be organized by the transportation department. So across the division, you'll see various forms of PD in various formats, many of it remote though, to make sure that we are physically and social distancing.
Thank you, Pam. Todd?
Okay, so just to follow up on Rod's comments at the outset of the meeting, just providing a COVID-19 update on things that are happening in our community. So as mentioned, Oakville School and the Cole Crescent View School have recently had students relocating to different locations in order to create more space within the schools and to provide an assurance of 2 meters of separation for students and staff. And so as a result, the Forest Prairie School Division rented the Oakville Community Hall, and students from the Oakville School have been relocated to that location, and it's been set up for a very well-equipped classroom in the hall, including Wi-Fi connection that's been beamed across, so we have high-speed internet connection there, and reports from Principal Daryl Patterson have been very positive, and kids are adjusting. So we want to thank the Oakville Community Hall for making that space available to us, and they've been very accommodating in helping us get set up. And as long as we remain in the orange level restricted, we'll be utilizing that space, and students will be moving between the school and the hall. Obviously, we would ask that people within the community slow down and keep their eyes open because students may be crossing more frequently than in the past. And so we ask for the community support in keeping our kids safe in that regard. We've also rented the Myers-Norris Penny exhibition hall on the island, and we thank the Fair Board for their responsiveness and allowing us to convert that space to classrooms. And we now have 3rd and 4th grade students on the island in 2 locations, the MMP building for about 116 students and the Stride building for about 60. And so, as I said, grade 3 and 4 English and French immersion students are working in those 2 locations, and they've been set up and very appropriately set up for learning. We know that it's created some inconvenience for students and families and certainly for teachers who have had to adapt very quickly to a very stressful situation of having to relocate their classroom in short order. And we just want to say thank you to all of those people for being so patient and understanding as we had to adjust. We also would like to do a shout out to the city of Portage la Prairie, the Stride board, and to Angie Schindel for her support in allowing us to set up within the Stride place. We're using the multi-purpose room, the atrium, and some additional spaces within the building, including the walking track. The public health order has been adapted to allow us to utilize that space for instructional and gymnasium, an adapted gymnasium space. So students have some indoor room to move. And we just like to thank all of the employees that are working there at Stride for their patience as we move into their building for a short term, hopefully. In January, parents from Arthur Meehan School have also been notified that they will have an 8th grade classes displaced after the Christmas break. And depending on if that break is extended, we may have to adjust our timelines, but tentatively now we're having them moving in following Christmas break. They'll be moving into the PCI West building on the upper floor. And again, this will be done partially due to COVID, but also due to construction that is slated to take place in the former automotive shop at the Arthur Meehan School. So lots of things related to COVID. I guess I would just end on the note that we know how hard our administrators, our teachers, our EAs, our bus drivers, all of our cleaning and support staff are working in this very difficult and ever-changing time. And we would just like to extend our thanks to all of you for your professionalism and your commitment to students. And we hope that better days lay ahead, but we know that we're in for a challenge. And so we appreciate your cooperation and support. And that's it.
Are there any questions from the board on that? We have one other business. One of the many things that COVID interrupted was the fact that normally we have staff recognition tributes given to our staff who are retiring or have left the division if they put in more than 15 years. We weren't able to do that this year, so we thought we would take a few minutes at each of the this board meeting and the one in December and in January and recognize those people who have left our division. We have 2 tonight, Todd Boychuk, done by Murray, and Louise Lelev, done by Yvette. Murray?
Thank you. I consider myself so very fortunate to be able to speak to the accomplishments and achievements of Todd Boychuk. 39 years ago, Todd's career began with the Portage School Division teaching at Yellow Quill School, followed by 15 years at Fort Lorraine before moving to Ecole Arthur Meehan in 2006. In 2015, Todd accepted the challenge of principalship at Oakville School. Oakville School has a very long list of incredible principals, and the expectation of those who are chosen to take that role is very high. And from his first day, he went well above and beyond to meet the needs of the students, staff, the families, and the communities. Todd quickly earned the respect of everyone by overcoming hurdles with professional demeanor, for promoting students' accomplishments, for the development of community partnerships, and for his many moments of mentorship. His great joy in the job always filtered down to students, especially to the little ones. I was told how his voice would notably change to a softer, understanding tone as he would speak to them. And he was always the first one to cook at the barbecues and enjoyed working comfortably side by side with the older students. It was quite obvious how the students looked up to him with fondness. Todd should take great pride in the fact that his entire career, he has helped so many students become a better version of themselves. Todd taught them not only what ought to be taught, but also what he thought needed to be learned. Learning needs examples range from Environmental Green School from the Seeds Foundation of Alberta, another, the partnership with community groups in the collection of Christmas hampers, ensuring students who may not have had the opportunity to experience trips to the Gold Eyes and tour of the Islands of the Lights. The participation and support of the excellent and rewarding young leadership programs to promote respect with others. And it was always so impressive how he chose and supported those masters of ceremonies, young people at the Oakville Christmas concert, and introduced them to public speaking. Todd, from a selfish perspective, I will miss our casual conversations we would have at the school, the cakes, your cabin, your family, or the happenings of the day. Our talks have spanned from Big Point to school, and like an old friend, each conversation began as a continuation of the last. So my conversation now would be to say, I hope the next chapter of your story is filled with so many happy moments and for the continuation of your success. Extend a big thank you to Jace, Matt, and Jan who shared you with all of us. And note, I am sure they will continue to keep you busy with the baseball and fixing vehicle dents repairs of the kids' cars. I would definitely strongly encourage you and Jan to enjoy that cabin of yours to the fullest. And most importantly, I would like to thank you for how much of a difference you have made. Thank you for everything you've done for our division and a job well done. Thanks again.
Thank you, Murray. Todd was a major part of the division for 29 years, so that says something. Louise, could you, Yvette, could you do this for Louise?
Yes. Thank you, Louise Leviev. I'm so glad you decided to allow us the privilege of letting you know how appreciated you have been in our school division as one of our child psychologists. I've been informed that you started working for the Portage-La Prairie School Division in 1993, yet you actually started working here in the early 1980s, hired directly by the provincial government. People I reached out to commented on your friendly, positive, respectful approach with all staff, students, and parents. Your availability and extremely calm approach in helping us deal with any school crisis or very challenging situations with students, including May of 2005 when you helped students and staff deal with the death of a student at Oakville School, which you were commended by the school board for. School administrators appreciated your approachability. They knew they could contact you anytime regarding difficult issues, and you would be there to listen, provide valuable insights and information, and to brainstorm ideas and solutions. You were considered an extremely valuable member of the student support team. Louise's experience, expertise, and advice were valued. The well-being of the child was always her first priority. Louise's approach was caring, non-judgmental, and always extremely respectful. When conducting student assessments, Louise really listened and was thorough. She would take the time to gather as much information as possible from staff, parents, and the children themselves. She asked important questions to try to fully understand the situation at hand, carefully documenting all that she was hearing and seeing. Nothing would ever rush through. Her memory was a huge asset, remembering students' history and points of interest years down the road. Parents were comfortable around her and confided in her. She focused on the strengths, qualities, talents, and interests that made each child unique. Her assessments and recommendations were sound, and she conveyed hope and optimism in all situations. A true professional. Louise's sense of humor is what the student services team loved most about her, as well as her competitiveness at staff get-togethers, and of course, the silly questions that she would ask that would make them all chuckle. She had a way of making you see things from a different perspective. We will miss you, but recognize you from afar easily in your signature navy and white striped outfits. Your ties to your French heritage, close to your heart always. And as you've been saying lately, adapt or get old, I am looking forward to being part of your next adventures as a friend. Other memories of you stated you look the same as you did when they first met you. So maybe you really do have the answers to keeping your youth. Enjoy your retirement, and I hope you don't have to wait too long to reconnect with your son in Toronto, daughter in New Zealand, and friends and family in Quebec that you have always visited every summer break since you moved here. Your long distance driving to Quebec yearly made you the perfect chauffeur for our trips to France, translator to boot. Thank you again for all your years of service as a child psychologist in our school division.
Thank you, Yvette. And as a personal note, Louise was the psychologist when I was at Victoria School, and she always looked for the kids and did the things that the kids needed. So thank you, Louise. And that does it for those this time. We will have more of those come the next board meeting. Information items, you got emailed copies of a number of things. As I said, we had those meetings on Saturday and this morning. Next board meeting is December the 8th. And that's our board meeting. Thank you.